English Flip, Easy English podcast for personal growth.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast, where you can learn English easily through interesting conversations and great stories. So stick with us till the end. I'm Lisa, and let's get started. What have you just heard? A phone notification, right? Most people think checking a phone takes just a second. But what if that 1 second actually costs you 25 minutes of deep focus? And if you check your phone like that several times a day, how much time are you really losing? Today, I want to tell you about the night I lost almost 2 hours without even noticing it. And also share 3 simple things that will help you take back your attention. Here's my real story. A few months ago, I had an important work project with a deadline. I sat down on a Sunday evening, totally ready, and I told myself, I'm going to get it done in 2 focused hours. I had everything needed to start: my laptop, my notes, and a cup of tea. But then my phone buzzed. I looked down. It was just a message in a group chat a friend of mine had shared a funny meme. Completely unimportant, but I thought, I'll just reply quickly. That was at 7:15 p.m. I replied to the meme. Then I noticed someone had left a funny comment about that, so I laughed. Then I shared it with another friend. Then I saw I had some new followers on Instagram, so I checked who they were. Then an advertisement about a skin product caught my attention. Then I clicked and read about it. Then I go to TikTok to check if the price is better there. Then I watch some videos of people who have used that product. Then I finally looked at the clock. It was 9. An hour and 45 minutes gone. And the worst part was my brain was overloaded full of information that didn't really matter. I felt tired, a little anxious, and honestly, I felt guilty too because I hadn't done any of the work. The thing I did that night is called doomscrolling. I spent a long time scrolling through social media, videos, and it was hard to stop. And as you may know, your brain after doomscrolling is like a phone at 3% battery. Do you know what's funny? Scientists said that our brains cannot multitask. I know many people believe they are good at doing several things at once. Some people even put it on their CV. But we don't really do different things at once. Our brains just switch very quickly between tasks, back and forth, and every switch has a cost of deep focus. A study by a researcher named Gloria Mark at the University of California says, when you are completely pulled away from a task, your brain can need up to 25 minutes to return to deep focus. 25 minutes! And that's a huge loss, right? So since that night, I've decided I want to change that bad habit. If you see yourself in my story and want to stop that habit, write a 25 in the comments below. We'll go through this together. Okay, back to the topic. So, how can we stop that? Let me give you 3 simple but useful tips that have helped many of my friends and me. Tip number 1, kill every notification. I'm not talking about turning down the volume or putting your phone in silent mode. I mean going into your settings and turning off push notifications for every single app except maybe phone calls and messages from people who might actually have an emergency. But everything else? Just off. I did that with Facebook, Messenger, Google, TikTok, WhatsApp, and even Gmail because I don't really write emails. Just everything. So no notifications or messages suddenly pop up at the top of my screen. No sounds are trying to get my attention. None of it. Because if you don't do that, your phone is like a room full of people continuously tapping you on the shoulder saying, "Hey, hey, look at this. Look at that. Hey." So turning off push notifications means you decide when to use your phone instead of letting your phone control your attention. Tip number 2, create physical distance from your phone. The goal is not to become stronger than temptation. The goal is to make temptation harder to reach. So create phone-free places in your home. Put your phone in another room when you need to focus. Don't keep it close to you. Because if your phone is right next to you on your desk, even if you're not using it, your brain still knows it's there. And just seeing it nearby can make it harder for you to focus. So that small extra step, standing up, walking to another room, and finding your phone, is often enough to break the automatic habit. So when you really need to concentrate, use this Pomodoro technique. It's very simple. Set a timer for 25 minutes, put your phone in another room, and work or study without touching it during those 25 minutes. Then take a short break. 25 minutes isn't a long time, right? And the third tip, the last simple one, is to protect the beginning of your work time. The first few minutes are very important. That's when your brain is still getting ready to focus and still deciding if we're really going to work now. So if you check your phone during those first 5 minutes, your focus is already broken. So turning on airplane mode on your phone is actually very helpful sometimes, especially when you don't need your phone for anything urgent. You can think of it like pressing a reset button for your brain. And here is the beautiful surprise. The less time you spend on your phone, the more present and connected you often feel in real life, with real people, doing real things. So disconnecting isn't a loss. It's a choice to give ourselves full attention to what really matters. All right, those are 3 simple tips that I've personally used and found really helpful. And if you have any good tips too, comment below. I'd love to read them. All right, before we finish today's episode, let's quickly go over a few useful words we used today. One important word you heard many times today was focus. Focus means giving your full attention to one thing. For example, I turned off my phone so I could focus on my work. And another word from my story was buzzed. I said, my phone buzzed. That simply means my phone made a short vibrating sound. Like, my phone buzzed during dinner, but I ignored it. You also heard the word deadline. And a deadline is the final time something must be finished. For example, I stayed up late because I had a deadline the next morning. And of course, today's big word was doomscrolling. Doomscrolling means spending too much time scrolling through social media or videos, even when it makes you feel stressed or tired. Honestly, I think most of us have done this before. Like, I only wanted to watch one video, but I ended up doomscrolling for an hour. Another useful word was multitask. Scientists say our brains actually cannot multitask very well. So multitasking means trying to do several things at the same time. For example, I can't multitask while studying. And I also use the word temptation. Temptation is something you really want to do, even when you know maybe you shouldn't. For example, my phone is a huge temptation when I'm trying to work. You also heard me say concentrate. To concentrate means to focus on something. Like, it's hard to concentrate in a noisy room. Another useful word was commit. When you commit to something, you seriously decide you're going to do it. For example, I want to commit to improving my English. And near the end, we talked about being present. Being present means fully paying attention to the people or moment around you. Example, I'm trying to be more present when I spend time with my family. All right, I hope you got them all. And before we go, I want to ask you one simple question. What is your biggest time thief? Maybe TikTok. Maybe YouTube. Or maybe a group chat or a news app. Let me know in the comments below. I'll read every single one, and it really helps me plan future episodes around what you're actually dealing with. If this episode gave you something useful, please share it with one person, just one person you know who is also fighting this battle with their phone. That small share means more to me than you know, and it helps Flip Podcast reach people who actually need this kind of content. And if you want more conversations like this, I'd love to see you again in the next episode. Take care. Bye for now. I'm Lisa, and this is English Flip. Better English, better life.